Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. This is the end, beautiful friend. Doom, doom, doom. This is the end, my only friend, the end. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel. It's a little bit of the Doors, but y'all don't know about classic rock. This is the end. Speaking of the end, this is the end, my friend. In the words of Child's Play. Now, the reason I say that is it's the end of the aura of invincibility from Gennady Triple G Golovkin. And his last two fights prove that, because right now you have a shift in the pendulum. You have different things that are happening that weren't previously happening. Like FREDDIE Roach all of a sudden is now saying, oh, I want to match, hey, I want to match my guy, son. I want to match Miguel Cotto with Golovkin. When has FREDDIE Roach ever been, or Cotto, really been talking about fighting Golovkin? I just did a video about it. Billy Joe Saunders is wearing a Triple G is a pussy, Borat, yada 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 shirt right now. Video's up on the channel. And Golovkin's still a good fighter. However, a lot of people there's more takeaways in the last two fights than was previously the case. As a result, people are now calling out Golovkin, right? People are now not as afraid as maybe was the case before. Because you got to look at it. When a guy is being built up and he's giving you the performances that kind of substantiate those claims, then what are you gonna say? If HBO's like, oh, he's a monster from Kazakhstan, and he's knocking out 23 people in a row, I'm like, damn, okay, this guy is, you know what I mean? It's easy for people to slip into that notion and be like, damn, this guy's unbeatable. Nobody can beat him. I don't know. But a lot of people thought Jacobs won his last fight. I did. I was at the fight. I covered it. Went to New York. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to New York. Had a great time at the Garden. And it's just, the time is here now. Like, people see that Golovkin is a good fighter. He's a ton of experience. You have to stay cognizant of his power. He's a very good jab and stuff like that. But see, the only people that are going to get mad at this video so far are the radical fans, and I don't care about them because I care about boxing. It's not about any one fighter. I give my honest thoughts, and that's what it is. You don't like it, don't watch. You don't want to hear it, then unsubscribe, block me, do whatever you have to do. But I speak from the heart. I'm real, and this is my honest thoughts. And the funny thing is, like, people get mad, like, oh, you always say I told you so. Hey, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I eat it. I admit it. Like, okay, Danny Garcia lost to Keith Thurman. I was wrong. Boom. It's out there publicly. I don't see, when you're secure in what you do, then you have confidence, and you don't feel timid or afraid to be wrong. Like, I don't mind being wrong. If I'm genuinely wrong and I'm wrong, and that's how I seen it, and like there's the facts behind it, then I'm wrong. I'm human, you know what I mean? I really don't have a problem being wrong. But if I'm right, I'm right. And that's just what it is. That's how I am, and that's how I think. So I give it up if I'm wrong and I gotta blue something. Because again, if you do this and you have confidence in what you're seeing and stuff, I try to give people a fair shake and straight shooter, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I know I'm not always going to be right. I'm not always going to be accurate with it. So I'm okay with that, because I know at the end of the day, more often than not, I've been right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind being wrong on the 7 reasons or whatever the situation. And one fight in particular that I wanted to see, that I made videos about it, like, this is years ago. This is some time ago. And that was Golovkin versus Andre Ward. Now, all of a sudden, people are seeing what I seen then. I told you guys that Ward would beat and dismantle Golovkin. I really believe that. At 168 and definitely at 175, it would be too much for Golovkin. And I really see it no other way. And again, people get mad and scratch their head and say you're biased and you're racist and stuff like that. None of that type of stuff moves me, because I know where I'm coming from. I know that I'm passionate about boxing, and it has nothing to do with that type of stuff. Furthermore, you have even more people like Teddy Atlas, and now Freddie Roach, is what you guys seen in the title. He's now switching. He thought that Golovkin would be too much for Andre Ward, but after the Jacobs fight, he says Golovkin was exposed. So it's funny when I say it, and I say, oh yeah, the Kell Brook, he was kind of exposed in the Jacobs fight. If I say stuff like that, then I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the bad guy. It's a race card thing. It's, oh, you only like black fighters, man. You only like, and it's funny because a lot of the people who perpetuate the race claims, like, oh, you only like black fighters and stuff, when I go to block them because they're leaving crazy stuff, it shows their activity, and they're actually subscribed to like Nazi channels, and like literally, like, you know what I mean, channels with like the thumbnail is a swastika, or it'll be like IHateBlacks.com, or, you know what I'm saying, just crazy stuff. Or in the activity, it shows you what people have left in other people's videos. Like you could see like a preview, if you will, and people would be like, oh yeah, these girls, these coons, like, you know what I mean, and calling all these crazy names, and they're the ones that are accusing other people of it. But for me, I know what it is, I know how I am, and it has nothing to do with it. I don't even really know anyone from Kazakhstan, so how, you know what I mean, what do I hate people from Kazakhstan for? But anyway, let's get to what Freddie Roach had to say. He spoke out with SecondsOut.com, and he says Golovkin, he's still one of the best fighters in the world today. Fair. I thought at one time that he could move up to light heavyweight and beat Ward. Ward is a very good boxer, maybe a better boxer than Triple G's last opponent, obviously Daniel Jacobs is. I changed my mind on that one a little bit now because he was exposed, referring to Golovkin versus Jacobs. And the funny thing is, like I said, I'm pretty headstrong. Pause. I don't have to change my mind. I seen this stuff from the jump. I'm giving it a fair shake from the jump. If I already have an opinion, again, I'm not always right, but if I have an opinion on something, trust me, I've at least done the research and tried to look at both sides. Like, okay, could Ward possibly lose to Golovkin? Could Golovkin lose to Ward? Like, I've looked at it. I looked at both sides of the fence, and the only way to end all the speculation is to actually make the fight, and for fans to push for the fights. But just like when it was the closest to actually ever happening, fans didn't really crave for it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of those fans, they know what it is, and they know that Ward would be too much. That's why you have people like Freddie Roach, multiple trainer of the year, former fighter. He's now switching his opinion, right? So it's funny what a difference a year makes. You know what I mean? Around the time where Andre Ward, he called him Little G, and then he just moved up because he's like, I'm not going to wait around. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit around waiting. And that's a fault of Team Triple G for me, is they won the Canelo fight, but you don't just sit and wait for one man. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I really feel Team Golovkin let Golden Boy and Canelo string them along. Okay, one more voluntary fight and then we'll fight you. Then that happens. Okay, you guys, 15 days to negotiate. Golovkin's still your mandatory, you knock Khan out. Okay. Well, and then like they negotiate for 2 days or whatever it is, a week. Oh, Canelo's going to be releasing and vacating his belt. Here you go, Golovkin. You know what I mean? That's just, all that was a waste of time. They did that with Cotto too. Like, you know what I mean? You got to strong arm these people. Like, I don't know. It's just like even Julian J. Rock Williams, when he was a mandatory for the IBF for Jamal Charlo, he says, fight me or vacate, Turkey. He says something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it is. Like, you have to force the people. The boxing are always going to have politics and stuff. You got to force them. Like, really, because these sanctioning bodies, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously you don't want to do it the wrong way or like a unprofessional manner, but I mean, it's your right. They have a ranking system and who's number one, who's mandatory, but there's a lot of fighters who have been mandatories and they keep allowing others to push them to the side. It's happened to Golovkin, Martinez, Cotto, Canelo. You know what I mean? These guys, like, you got pushed to the side so they can make Canelo versus Cotto, and got paid some step aside money. You know what I mean? At some point, you got to put your foot down. Like, I need to fight one of these guys because people are judging my resume and saying I ain't fought nobody. These people are going to be the names. You know what I mean? But it's not just, it's all around boxing. People like Gennady Golovkin, even he's supposed to have fought Sebastian Jorge Highland, but he's pursued probably bigger financial fights. Not that I give Highland a chance against Golovkin, but I mean, that is his mandatory. With one of his belts, he has so many. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts, man. I think Ward would beat Golovkin. I think it would be a nightmare of a style for Golovkin, even though he's a good fighter, good jab. You got to look at it like this. Ward moved up and really fought 2 fights, but I'm going to say 1.5 fights, because the guy he fought the second time, because I covered all of Ward. I think I covered every Ward fight since Paul Smith, Sullivan, Alex Brand, and then Kovalev Ward, right? And it's really 1.5, because even though Alexander Brand had recently had 1 fight at 175, I talked to him when he was out here in Oakland, and he wasn't a permanent resident at light heavyweight. So that was just a kind of a filler fight to further acclimate to the weight cut and stuff like that. But realistically, in terms of true light heavyweights with true light heavyweight power and a light heavyweight frame, size, height, and stuff like that, Ward really fought Sullivan Barrera, and that was it. Because Alexander Brand, again, was a super middleweight who had a fight or 2 at 175, but for the most part, his career, he's been a career super middleweight. So if Ward can basically have 1 real light heavyweight fight, then have a tune-up style fight against a super middleweight with limited experience at 175, and then go on to beat Sergey Kovalev and even survive a knockdown without getting knocked out and stuff like that. And Kovalev seemed very focused. Kovalev also has a very good jab, and it's at a jab at 175. Then how is Golovkin, who does have a good jab too, how's he going to beat Andre Ward, Olympic gold medalist, right, with the jab? Because people are saying that's how he beat Daniel Jacobs. To me, if Ward was able to etch out a win versus Kovalev, who also has a good, strong, powerful jab, right, and kind of the same mentality, maybe even worse than Golovkin. Like, Kovalev has a real mean streak. You know what I'm saying? So if he could do that 175 and, you know what I mean, narrowly win or whatever the situation, even though some people find it controversial, then what is Golovkin going to do? How is he going to control him with the jab? You know what I mean? And the other thing is, I think Ward probably would. Daniel Jacobs fought a great fight. There were spots in there where I think he should have pushed the action more, just to, because you know you're up against the favorite, and the crowd, even though it was in his backyard, might have even been pro Golovkin, you know what I mean, at least at the weigh-in and stuff. So just push the action, because he had no answer for that. You know what I mean? So I think he should have done that. I think Ward would do that because that's naturally his innate style. Ward is going to be a guy who makes it rough and ugly, gets his shots off, then he'll smother your shot so you can't get your shots off. Ward is an exceptional inside fighter. He was taxing Kovalev's body, and he's naturally bigger than Golovkin. He looks bigger. So again, I agree with Freddie Roach, but the thing is, I didn't have to switch my opinion. That's what I always felt. People can get mad, but don't get mad. Push for the fight. Just like the Daniel Jacobs rematch. People are pushing for Kovalev to rematch Ward. I'm all for that. That's great. You know what I mean? There's controversy. I attended the first fight. It was a hell of a fight. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got to experience it. I have no problem with Kovalev Ward too. But why do people have a problem with Golovkin versus Jacobs too? How come Golovkin, in a similar fight where people thought the person who had a hand raised didn't necessarily win, regardless of if who you had winning, it was close. So you don't think Jacobs deserves that? You know what I mean? And people are okay with Golovkin just moving forth with his career, trying to be undisputed, fighting against Billy Joe Saunders, or moving for Canelo, or as Abel says, if they become undisputed, then they're going to move up to 168. So that's my thoughts. I know for a fact, you guys can say whatever, but the Ward fight was ducked by Team Golovkin for a reason. They did not want no parts of Ward, right? And I think it's very evident why, as we see that. Golovkin is a very good fighter, See, and this is the thing. You listen to other channels and stuff. The people that you perceive that they don't like, they'll never say anything good about them, right? I give Golovkin credit for what he's good. I don't have a problem with Golovkin. I've covered 2 of his fights in the last year. You know what I mean? He's a good fighter. He's a good jab. I don't think he's exactly as billed in terms of as advertised what HBO and ESPN said, like best 25 and like. Even if he is, he hasn't proven that. He hasn't proven that he's the best over Miguel Cotto in the last 25 years and Trinidad and whoever else he trumped in that list from ESPN. Same thing with HBO. He had a good knockout streak. HBO does weird stuff. Like, they might need to reinvest in the commentary, like, because fans aren't fooled by the dumb stuff. Like, for example, I remember a Golovkin versus Martin Murray fight. Martin Murray started maybe first 3 rounds or something. It was kind of competitive, but then it was way too much for Martin Murray, and Golovkin was just like mopping him. At the beginning of the telecast, Jim Lampley said something to the effect of, Martin Murray's clearly not a puncher, and that's evident by his low KO percentage and his low number of knockouts. He only has blah 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 10 knockouts in this many fights. So he was saying something to the effect of Martin Murray doesn't have much power, right? And he even referenced his low KO percentage and how many fights he had, etc. Then later in the telecast, or in one of the rounds, let's say round 3 or 4, Martin Murray got off some good combinations and it hit Golovkin's face, and Jim Lampley said something to the effect of, wow, you got to give a ton of credit to Gennady Golovkin because he's eating those shots from Martin Murray. He's taking them like a champ or something like that. Basically accrediting his chin, but that doesn't even make sense. Now, I do think Golovkin has a hell of a chin. He showed me that in his last fight with Daniel Jacobs, because he ate some shots and he didn't never really look hurt like that. You know what I mean? Like where he was on Queer Street or nothing. He ate some shots from Curtis Stevens. David Lemieux never really got off, so he didn't really eat nothing there. But Golovkin, I do think, has a hell of a chin. But that point is a moot point with what Jim Lampley was saying, is because how are you going to give him credit and you just downplayed the guy's power and said he has no cracks? But then later on in the telecast, when he eats flush shots, you say, wow, he has a hell of a chin because he's able to just absorb and eat those shots. But you already told us that the guy didn't have no punching power. So that doesn't even make sense. A chin is really, like, if you say someone has a good chin, it's because you've seen them take good shots from formidable punchers. You know what I mean? Like, I know Floyd Mayweather has a good chin because the shot that Shane Mosley hit him with would have either knocked down or maybe even knocked out other people. It came with speed, velocity, and it was right on the button. And Mayweather ate it. I mean, he had to clinch, but he still took it. I've seen him take big shots from people before. The fight in the Maidana rematch, Maidana caught him, like countered over the jab or something, and then they said Floyd's tooth or fake tooth or something got knocked out, and Maidana just cracked him flush. It was at the end of round 3 or something like that. So I give credit to shots like that because I know these are punchers, and Mayweather ate them. So I give Golovkin, I know he has a chin from other fights, but what Jim Lampley said versus Martin Murray doesn't make sense because you just told us Martin Murray has no power. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I personally have always felt this way. Ward would do a number on Golovkin, and you guys can get mad and do whatever you do in the comment section. That's my thoughts. And it looks like Freddie Roach has reconsidered what he earlier believed to be the case, that Golovkin will move up. And see, a lot of people are going to get mad, but you have to also look at a lot of this pressure is not put on by Golovkin particularly. It's his team, and it's the people promoting him. If you promote him like a good fighter that he is, I don't have no beef with that. No one would probably have a problem with it. But when HBO is saying, oh, he's the knockout machine and he's a Terminator cyborg, and you're saying all this, okay, then you got some standards and expectations you got to meet. Same thing with Abel Sanchez. Abel Sanchez keeps doing interviews with the media. Oh, yeah, I'm confident nobody can go from 154 to 168, 12 rounds with Golovkin. Nope, no way. Like, you know what I mean? So if you say that and then Jacobs goes 12 rounds, what am I supposed to say? I remember what you said. You said knowing from 54 to 68, but then now, oh, Jacobs, that's different. He was a light heavyweight. He was a cruiserweight. He weighed 206 on the. How do you know? He didn't even weigh in. How do you know how much he weighed? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this to Abel. I'm saying this to fans. They're like, oh yeah, he weighed 225. He looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, man. Like, come on, man. But again, like most fans that are realistic, they're just merely going off of the expectations set forth by people who have promoted and or advised Golovkin. You know what I mean? Trainers, Tom Loeffler, HBO, ESPN. You know what I mean? Because ESPN's saying he's the best of the 25. Okay, let me see it. Because I don't rank somebody prematurely like that. I think Errol Spence Jr. is the goods. But I ain't never, you guys ain't never, I'll give anybody right now $500 PayPal if you could produce a video with my voice that's original where I said Errol Spence Jr. is on the top 5 pound for pound list or something like that. I ain't never said that, and I rate Errol Spence. I think the kid is money. I think he has a bright future. But still, I never said he's the best in the last 25 years because guess what? He still has to prove it. What do I look like if I say, oh, Errol Spence is the best in the last 30 years? Fucking best welterweight. There you have it, right? And then I put that's my opinion. That's my whole credibility on the line. And let's say Kell Brooks stops him. What do I look like? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I thought you said he was the best in the last 30 years. So I still have to, even though I have like premonitions and I believe fighters are capable of it, they still got to show it and they still got to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, even myself, I believe I could do certain things like when I have a vision, like, oh, I'm going to take over the boxing game. But I still got to prove it to myself. Even though in my heart I know what I can do. I still got to be able to have the consistency, have the performances, meet expectations, meet goals. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do that. ESPN does, HBO does, but I don't. So let me know what you guys think. I think Ward clearly would beat Golovkin. I don't really, at this point, understand anybody who would say otherwise, especially at the higher weights. That's just what it is. Ward has the height. He has the style that Golovkin is not the best inside fighter. His bread and butter is the mid to outrange boxing, working at his pace. But if you back him up, then it's a different fight for him. If you throw combinations, it seems to freeze him if he respects your power. And then maybe even if he doesn't respect your power, because I think I got to watch it again. But Willie Monroe Jr., I think even in that fight, Willie Monroe, like, he just stops punching when Willie Monroe's just bop, 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 and getting some shots off. Let me know what you guys think. Ward versus Golovkin. I still want to see it. Let's see it. Let's make it happen. If he becomes undisputed and moves up to 68, let's see it. And again, this is the expectations from Team Golovkin. Abel saying Golovkin stops cruiserweights in sparring, right? He knocks out guys from 175, and Abel literally said that Golovkin will beat Ward, Kovalev, and Adonis Stevenson at 175. So I don't even want to talk. I want to see it. Let me see that. Let me see you beat Adonis. People say, oh, Adonis Chickenson and all this. Adonis got smoke. Adonis got cracks. So, and Golovkin doesn't necessarily do the best with southpaws, and I think that's one of the things Jacobs noted. And Adonis is a southpaw with his left hand is butter. It's money. It's that piff. So if Golovkin just eats that flush at 75, I gotta see. He has a hell of a chin, but I would have to see him run through Kovalev's and Adonis and Ward at 75. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Do you agree with myself and Freddie Roach, or do you think Golovkin would still beat Ward? Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
That's the thing. He puts his foot in his mouth. He calls out every 68-pounder except Ward. He calls out no 154-pounders except for Floyd. And then, you know, he gives people a reason to question him when he talks, you know? So, I mean, I really can't answer that question. You got to take that up with them. They put their own foot in their mouth when they talk. It's unfortunate.
Hunter said that he shouldn't cry because he made promises like that. And why is he complaining now?
It's 100%, and he's 100% right. You put your foot in your mouth, you got to live with that.
Did he duck Ward? I mean, a lot of people are saying that.
Well, I don't know. It's the questioning of whether he's ducking him or not. You know, it's up for opinion. But, you know, Canelo is doing to Golovkin what basically Golovkin is doing to Ward. So as frustrating as it is for Golovkin to not get Canelo, now he knows what Andre felt with him. You know, so it's the same thing. So depending on which side you want to take, it's essentially the same matter of circumstances.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.